Welcome to geothoughts.eu. In this video, we will cover the geopolitical developments between December 12th and 25th. The U.S. State Department launched the China House Unit for expanding and sharpening policy making against its top geopolitical rival China. Last May, Secretary of State Blinken announced the foundation of the special unit, which would implement and coordinate U.S. foreign policy towards China. Lately, both powers have been at odds regarding Taiwan, especially after U.S. House Speaker Pelosi's official visit to China and Beijing's increased military activity in the Taiwan Strait following this visit. On the other hand, the U.S. Senate passed the highest annual defense spending budget worth $858 billion, which authorizes $10 billion in support for Taiwan and security assistance against China. These two developments signify the U.S. commitment to defending Taiwan against any kind of Chinese aggression and its geopolitical interests in the Pacific. Amid the attempts to reduce European reliance on Russian fossil fuels, the European Union and Azerbaijan agreed on the supply of electricity from Azerbaijan to Europe. According to the new project, Azerbaijan will send electricity to Europe with an 1,195-kilometer cable under the Black Sea. The construction of the cable will commence next year and go through Azerbaijan to Georgia and to Romania from the Black Sea. According to Euractiv, the project is not expected to go live until 2029. This move can also be expected to increase European influence in the Caucasus region where Russia is slowly losing its reputation. On the other hand, Turkish President Erdogan also wants to revive an old idea that would carry Turkmen gas to Europe through Azerbaijan and Turkey, which would be a significant replacement for the Russian gas both in Turkey and Europe. In the trilateral summit between Azerbaijan, Turkey and Turkmenistan, Erdogan stressed the importance of Turkmen gas to diversify supply and its benefits in bringing both countries together. In the official document issued after the summit, each country has pledged to increase economic cooperation, which might signal the willingness to materialize such an energy initiative. The Trans-Anatolian natural gas pipeline, which was opened in 2018, already carries Azerbaijani natural gas to Europe through Turkey. If the flow of Turkmen gas can be added to this existing project, Europe can reduce its dependency on Russian gas. This initiative would also increase Turkish influence in the region while the Turkic countries are reconsidering their ties with Moscow after the Ukrainian war. Henry Kissinger, the former U.S. Secretary of State, the mastermind of the U.S. foreign policy during the Cold War, and the most iconic figure in 20th-century international politics, suggested that it is time for diplomacy and a negotiated peace between Russia and Ukraine in an article he wrote for The Spectator magazine. He claimed that in order to reduce the risk of another global war, peace should be negotiated between the two sides and that the hope for breaking up Russia is dangerous, as it may unleash nuclear chaos and an immense power vacuum. Furthermore, he suggested internationally supervised referendums to determine the future of the occupied regions since 2014 as an option for achieving peace. Although it is ambiguous whether his solutions to the biggest conflict in Europe since the Second World War would be realized, we think it is worth mentioning Kissinger's thoughts. In an interview, Russian President Putin said that Russia is ready to negotiate with all parties involved in the Ukraine conflict, but accused Kiev and the West of refusing to engage in talks. In the meantime, Kiev said that Russia needs to get back to reality and that it is Russia that did not want any negotiations. As the winter takes over the battlefield in Ukraine, it would not be a surprise to see diplomatic attempts taking over the war. In the Middle East, Turkish President Erdogan asked Russian President Putin to arrange a trilateral meeting with Syria in order to accelerate diplomatic efforts. Turkey and Syria have had strained relations after the start of the Syrian civil war in 2011 as Turkey had backed the forces against President Assad and launched multiple military operations in Syria. Following the Turkish request, the Kremlin announced that it welcomed the Turkish proposals to establish a trilateral diplomatic mechanism. Yet the Syrian opinion is still unknown. Dutch Prime Minister Rutte apologized on behalf of the Dutch state for its role in slavery and its consequences that continue until now. The Kingdom of Netherlands, which had overseas colonies such as Suriname and Indonesia, was a leading world power during the 16th and 17th centuries with its advanced fleet and intense trading, which formed the basis of the country's wealth today. The Netherlands' apology may become a precedent for other European colonial powers in facing their colonial past. That was all for the last 2 weeks' top geopolitical developments from across the world. Thank you for watching. See you next week.